my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, I'm Vanessa and I, and welcome to the fam. So you guys, today's reading is all about who is crushing on you. So in order to help you figure out exactly who your secret admirer is, I have 6 groups that you can choose from. So I would like you to pick one of these 6 groups intuitively. So just go with whichever mineral resonates the most with you. So the 6 groups are as follows. We have the white Aragonite, we have the Howlite, we have the rose quartz, we have the Amazonite, we have the blue quartz, as well as the Azurite. But you guys, the timestamps will be down below in the description box, as well as pinned to the comment section, as usual. And furthermore, I have some really exciting news for you guys. All of these amazing gemstone rings are now available in silver as well as gold. And because a lot of you guys have been requesting it, we have added a rose quartz version to the Empress ring. So this is what it looks like. It is literally the cutest ring. It is my absolute favorite. So you guys, the link will be down below in the description box. Make sure that you don't miss out because these do sell out super quickly. So yeah, you guys, that is it for the intro. I want to keep it really short because I would prefer to spend more time within the individual readings so that I can provide you with more information on exactly who is crushing on you. So you guys, I'm going to get straight into it, and I will be starting off with the first group, which corresponds to the white Aragonite, and to all the other groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello, group number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the white Aragonite, group number 1, and I want to get straight into your reading to give you more information about who is crushing on you. So first and foremost, we have the Page of Acorns. So what I see in the Page of Acorns is that we have somebody who is very enthusiastic that is crushing on you, someone who is very driven and ambitious and is really into their hobbies and the things that lights and fires them up. But I want to add a few more cards to your reading just to get a little more of the scoop. We have the 8 of shells, we have the 7 of crystals, as well as the 6 of crystals. So the suit of crystals corresponds to earth signs. So group number 1, we have a little more earth sign energy here compared to the other signs. So I want you to know that that may be an indication for the zodiac sign realm of the person who is currently crushing on you. In the 6 of crystals, one thing that I see here is that this person is somebody who has like this attitude of gratitude, okay? They are somebody who can hold a conversation with anybody and is grateful for even the smallest thing, group number 1. So that is one thing that is amazing about them. Furthermore, as we spoke about earlier in the Page of Acorns, they're super enthusiastic about the things that they're passionate about. But one thing that I see in the Page of Acorns is that they may also be a little childish, okay, group number 1? And if this is something that you cannot stand, do not shoot the messenger, okay? I'm just telling you exactly what I see. But furthermore, I see in the 8 of shells that they're always trying to better themselves. So they realize that they can be a little childish, they can be a little naive, they can be, how should I say, emotionally a little bit immature, but that is okay because they're working on it, they are aware of that. And in the 8 of shells, I definitely see that they're on a quest, on a personal quest and mission to make themselves the best version that they could possibly be. In the 7 of crystals, one thing that I see here is that they got options, okay? When it comes to love, when it comes to how they spend their time in the earthly realms with romantic interests, they have a lot of options because they are seen as attractive, okay? So furthermore, in the Page of Acorns, yes, they can be immature, but at the same time, they're sort of like in the prime time of their life, if you will, okay? They're sort of like in this phase where they are attractive to a lot of people physically, and they're just the kind of person that others would like to have around, okay? So this enthusiastic energy, this sort of a drive, this ambition is something that is infectious, okay? So we have the bat spirit and then we have the nightingale spirit. So I do see a little bit of air sign energy here, okay? But this may also just be an indication of how they are mentally. In the nightingale spirit, I want you to know that they're the kind of person who is not afraid to speak from the heart, okay? They're not afraid to say how they feel and also what makes them happy and what really saddens them, okay? They're not afraid to put their opinion out there and to be the person who is the first to let a bit know what's going on, if you know what I mean, okay? So they're not here to play games and they're not here for BS. There's somebody who is more straightforward than others, and they're just the kind of person who has noticed, like, if I want to get ahead in life, what I need to do is just really change my perspective. That is one thing that I see in the bat spirit. I see that it was a challenge to get to this point, okay? It took a lot of effort. We have the number 5 in correlation to the bat spirit, which is kind of like a challenging number. It is a number where there's a lot going on, where there is a bit of a struggle. So I want you to know that it wasn't easy for them to get to this point in life, and they've always struggled with speaking up until they probably had a very kind of like mind-boggling experience that was mostly negative, okay? Group number 1, we're just gonna say, where somebody most likely really hurt them, okay? And when that event happened, they realized, I have to speak up. I'm not going to be a doormat anymore. Guess what? This doormat is gonna get up and walk away. So they've really grown as a person in these past years. So then we have the 10 of Shells, we have the High Priestess, we have the 5 of Shells, as well as the Knight of Acorns. Okay, a lot of shells. Let us move straight into your reading. So one thing that I see here is that there's somebody who is able to adjust to any circumstances. Okay, so they're the kind of person where when life presents them with an obstacle, they're able to overcome it. They're not the kind of person that stands in front of the obstacle and thinks, oh my God, like I can't do this. They think to themselves, how am I going to tackle this? Furthermore, in correlation to the High Priestess, one thing that I see here is that a lot of people look up to them. So they most likely have sort of like a job where they're in a position where they make a lot of decisions and where people rely on them to make the right decisions. So having all of that pressure could be an explanation as to why they can have the tendency to be a little bit immature when it comes to their personal life, when it comes to romance, just because they need sort of like an outlet to be able to let loose, okay? And the 10 of Shells, I see here though that they're emotionally a very fulfilled person. They're not the kind of person that always needs to be in a relationship, that always needs sort of romantic attention. They can be by themselves and be completely happy and fulfilled because they are internally happy with themselves. Yes, you know, everybody has things that they're battling with, their own inner demons, but this person really mentally is more on a clear vibe, okay? They don't really have big things that are eating them up internally that may express themselves in negative ways or in challenging ways when it comes to romantic relationships. So this person does not have a lot of skeletons in their closet, group number 1, and I really hope that that excites you, okay? So in the Knight of Acorns, one thing that I see here in correlation to the Page of Acorns is just again this drive, this ambition that they are willing to put themselves out there in order to accomplish what they want to accomplish, whether it has to do with love or sort of like their job. They're willing to just discover new ways to get to new levels. Does that make any sense, group number 1? I mean, they're willing to put in the time, the work, the dedication, and to just think outside of the box in order to truly make a difference. So if they want, for instance, an increase in their paycheck, they're not going to think to themselves, oh, this is going to be difficult to do. They think to themselves, how can I tackle this? It is just that same mentality as we spoke about that they have with obstacles in life, okay, and they embrace the in-between, okay? There's a reason why the flamingo spirit literally jumped out of your pile of cards, okay? In the flamingo spirit, I want you to know that the reason why they can do this is because they're able to embrace the in-between. They don't need to wait for anything to be perfect in order to be happy. Do you know that situation when you're like, oh, okay, you know, I'll be happy once I have a partner. I'll be happy once I have X amount of money. I'll be happy once I'm able to get to this weight. You know, that sort of mentality is something that they have long put in the past, that they have banished, that they have most likely never even embraced, okay? They've always been the person who has thought like, I live now, I'm in the moment now, which can make them a little impulsive, but they think to themselves, what's the point in saying I'll be happy when X, Y, and Z happens? That makes absolutely no sense to them, group number one. So they're the kind of person who likes to live in the moment and just know that the moment is fleeting. There's no point in saying I'll be happy once so-and-so ducks have fallen into a row. Then last but not least, we have the brown bear spirit. So I do see that while they're very driven and passionate and they go after what it is that they want, at the same time, they are kind of like the Netflix and chill person, okay? Group number one, they don't need action in their romantic life. They're the kind of person that likes to lay back, to hibernate a little bit, okay? They like to sleep in when they can. And they're the kind of person who needs love and romance kind of to regenerate. So if you're somebody who is very adventurous, who likes to constantly be doing things with your romantic partner, then this crush may not be the perfect match for you. But if you're a kind of more chill, laid back person who likes to spend time at home, just relaxing, sleeping, eating some chips on the couch while watching your favorite show, then this is most likely a really good fit for you, group number one. So group number one, this is all about the person who is currently crushing on you. I truly hope that it gave you insight. I hope that it just allowed you to have a little bit of peace of mind if you had any questions about who is currently crushing on you, and that you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below in the comment section, as well as by giving this video a thumbs up. So I will see you in one of my upcoming videos, and I hope you have an amazing day or night wherever you are in this world, group number one. Hello, group number two, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Howlite group number two, which is a super gorgeous, very marble-esque kind of mineral, as you can see. So I really vibe with your choice, group number two, but let's move straight into your reading to figure out who is crushing on you. So first and foremost, we have the King of Crystals, okay? So I see somebody who is pretty authoritative, somebody who is mature, somebody who is most likely older than you, maybe even by quite a few years, and just someone where you most likely would not expect that they're crushing on you. They are someone who is successful, okay, financially. They're probably in a very secure spot, and they have been able to achieve greatness in their life in the earthly realms, and now they want the same for their romantic life, okay? They've done what they wanted to do when it comes to their career. They're at a comfortable spot where they're still learning and, you know, trying to improve, but at the same time, they can relax a little more than they were able to a while ago. But let's move further into your reading, okay? We have the 9 of Feathers, we have the 2 of Feathers, as well as the 8 of Acorns, okay? So out of the 4 cards that we have so far, 2 of them correspond to the Suit of Feathers, which corresponds to air signs. So group number 2, there could be sort of like an indication here for the fact that this person that is crushing on you is of an air sign, but this may also have to do with the fact that they're mentally very sharp, okay? Air signs tend to be mentally on point, but in correlation to the King of Crystals, I want you to know that this kind of like goes without say. If you want to be successful in the earthly realms financially, when it comes to your success in the financial world, with your job, with your accomplishments, academically, you have to know exactly how you learn best. You have to be tactical. You have to be the kind of person who puts logic before their feelings, okay? And you sometimes have to see things objectively, even if you don't want to, in order to be able to move forward and push forward. So this person has a very analytical streak to them. And in the 9 of Feathers, I want you to know here that they're able to put themselves in a different perspective, okay? They're able to empathize. So even though they are very logical, and even though they're the kind of person who can see things very objectively, they can also empathize. So even if they don't agree with you, they can put themselves into a different perspective. They can see things from your perspective, and therefore come to the conclusion that, wow, okay, I understand why he or she or they feel this way. And in the 8 of Acorns, I want you to know here that they are always driven towards results. Whether this is in their work life, or whether this is in their personal life, they always want positive results. And that is why they are able to put themselves in somebody else's shoes in order to extract that positive result. So you may ask yourself, like, why are you saying this to me, Vanessa? So I want you to know here that they are so driven to make sure that everything is positive that they will turn their analytical mind into a very compassionate mind when they need to, because they know that they can get the best results for their romantic love life, okay, by putting themselves sometimes in somebody else's shoes. So this is very beneficial. I want you to know here that your crush is somebody who has a lot of emotional intelligence, but you have to be careful with that, okay? Sometimes a lot of emotional intelligence can also lead to slight manipulation, group number 2. So if you end up actually linking up with your crush and this connection is something that establishes itself to something with a bit more substance, you know what I mean? I want you to look out for that, because someone who is very smart can sometimes abuse their intelligence. But as I said, this does not have to be the case. There is no indication of abuse here. I'm just looking out for you, girl, okay? So I just want to put it out there. In the 2 of feathers, furthermore, I want you to know that this person has a strong sense of direction, and they will always make their decision based on the fact that they are trying to have life run as smoothly as they possibly can. They're not here for drama. We've spoken about how they are mature, how they have accomplished quite a few things in their lifetime. So any sort of like little petty stuff is totally not for them, and they will not engage, group number 2. So just know that. If you like to be petty, if you like to sometimes seek attention like that, that might backfire. Then we have the spider spirit as well as the scarab beetle spirit. So one thing that I see here in the spider spirit is the fact that they're the kind of person who is very patient, okay? And furthermore, in the scarab beetle spirit, that feeds into the fact that they feel like there are unexplained things here around us, okay? There are energies, there are vibrations, and they will patiently wait for those vibrations to deliver. So if you know me, then you know that I do not ignore when cards jump out of the pile, okay? Those are important indications that we need to speak about, group number 2. So let's get right into this. We have the mouse spirit, okay? Then we have the cow spirit, we have the dog spirit, we have the electric eel spirit, we have the grasshopper spirit, as well as the butterfly spirit. So we have a very colorful group here for you. In the mouse spirit, one thing that I see is that they are very much focused on the little details. So they will remember everything about you, okay? This person who is crushing on you will remember exactly how you wore your hair, what outfit you were wearing on the first date or when they first encountered you. And they're the kind of person where once they're into you, like, they are loyal as a dog, group number 2, okay? They will not stray from your side, because they understand that to come by something that really fits, okay? To come by a good match when it comes to romance. They understand that this is not something that happens every day or every other day. So they cherish that once they come across somebody that they're really into. So in the cow spirit, I want you to know that they're the kind of person who feels as though when you put good energy, good karma out, you get good karma back. And that is most likely why they have been able to establish themselves to be so successful in their career, because they are able to just always see the positive and always see the situation as, wow, you know, what can I gain out of the situation? No matter if the situation is stereotypically a negative situation. In the electric eel spirit, I want you to know that they have brought many ideas, many visions to life, which has caused them to take lots of leaps of faith. That is what we have here in the grasshopper spirit. They're the kind of person that thinks to themselves, wow, you know, how can I get this idea to actually come to fruition? And even when it seems crazy, even when it seems so far removed from the industry that they're maybe working in or the kind of team that they're engaged with, they will take that leap of faith, take the responsibility if they need to, in order to create something brand spanking new that is actually innovative, you know? And it takes a lot of courage to take those leaps, especially when a lot of people are watching you and maybe even waiting for you to fail. But regardless of that, they believe in themselves, they take the leaps of faith, and in turn, they are the person who actually is able to be innovative, who is actually able to create something new where people are like, wow, you know, that's awesome. But those are the same people where when they were thinking of taking the leap, told them not to, or gave them kind of like the vibe that they were crazy. But whole another subject for a whole another video, group number 2. Last but not least, in the butterfly spirit, I want you to know here that they know how a beautiful transformation is, and they're not going to be hard on you if you go through different phases, okay? I know I go through different phases, and if I was ever with somebody who did not tolerate or encourage my different phases of discovery and just trying new things out, then that would really dim my shine, group number 2. And I feel as though you're that same person who needs that encouragement, who needs somebody who is here for the transformation, who is not just here for the end result, but also here for the entire path and way that leads up to that end result. Somebody who doesn't judge and someone who is supportive at all times as long as there is growth involved. And that is exactly who this person is who is crushing on you, group number 2. So group number 2, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that it gave you clarity as well as some peace of mind. Let me know down below what really hit home, and if you already had this sort of like feeling that this could be the kind of person who's crushing on you. So group number 2, I will see you in one of my upcoming videos, and I hope that you have an amazing day or night wherever you are in this world. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Rose Quartz group number 3, and I want to get straight into your reading to figure out exactly who is crushing on you. So let's have a look. First and foremost, we have the Page of Feathers. So group number 3, in the Page of Feathers, I see somebody here who is very eager to discover and to explore, okay? This person is somebody who likes to push themselves as well as their body to the limit, okay? They're most likely somebody who is athletic, somebody who likes to get out there, and also somebody who likes very thought-provoking conversations. So they're not here to just talk about how the weather is or to just talk about mindless sort of petty things or to gossip. They want conversations with substance, group number 3. That is the kind of person that is crushing on you. Then we have the 3 of Shells, we have the 2 of Acorns, as well as the 6 of Acorns. So we have 2 cards that correspond to the suit of Acorns, which corresponds to fire signs. So group number 3, you may be attracting somebody who is crushing on you who is of a fire sign, okay? And in the 6 of Acorns, I want you to know that they're the kind of person who maybe has a little bit of an ego, okay? That is what I see in the 6 of Acorns, that they have been triumphant in many instances, and should there be any roadblocks, any sort of bumps in the road, they are not good with that. So they're most likely the kind of person where you cannot win an argument, okay, because they will find a way to come out of it successful, triumphant, and as the winner. But I want you to know that that is just like a minor little flaw, if you will. Overall, they're a very playful person. That is one thing that I see in the 3 of Shells. They're somebody who likes to have fun, who doesn't take life too seriously. The only time that their ego really comes out is when it has been bruised, when it has been hurt. But let us just remind ourselves, group number 3, that hurt people hurt people. And if you've ever been hurt, then you may have been in the situation where you have wanted to, cause a little hurt back, or you did not exactly find it, how should I say, a thought that you would be ashamed of if you thought to yourself, I want this person to know what hurt feels like. You know what I mean? So group number 3, don't feel as though this person is in any way, shape, or form malicious. This person is just simply somebody who has pride, okay? And you may be that same way, but also very playful when it comes to just being around friends, family, the people who you love, as long as you are not challenged. Then we have the Page of Shells as well within your reading. So the 2 of Acorns in correspondence to the Page of Shells, I definitely see here that they're the kind of person who is playful but also focused, okay? So they will play games and so on and so forth, but then at the same time, when it comes to actually like getting the job, getting the promotion, like they will switch real quick, okay? They're the kind of person where like, yeah, they'll be friends, they'll be fun, but when it comes to their bag, when it comes to love, romance, the people that they love, as soon as there is something to gain or something that could possibly hurt their bubble, their friends, their family, the person that they're with, they all of a sudden switch the flick, okay? And they can be completely different, okay? A completely different person, very protective, and just the kind of person who follows their intuition. If they feel like something is wrong, they're going to voice it, and they're going to make sure that whatever feels wrong does not transpire into reality and does not end up hurting them or the people around them. So last but not least, here for the first row, we have a transformation. So group number 3, I do see here that they are somebody who has a very, very liberal kind of worldview. They feel as though everybody should be able to be themselves and should be able to express themselves. They do not believe that there are certain gender roles. They do not believe that people have to act in a certain way in order to conform to society. Now, do they know that it can push you further along in your career if you do conform? Yes, of course they know that. And yes, of course they have used that to their advantage, okay, group number 3, but at the same time, that is not what they stand for. That is not what they think is right, but at the same time, they understand that in order for there to be change, there has to be somebody like them who moves to the top, who comes to a point of power where they can then implement those changes. There is no point in yelling from the bottom up and saying what is unfair, but there is so much more value in actually getting to the top and then implementing that change. So that does not mean that they themselves are in any way different, okay? They can be of a very traditional sort of standpoint, okay? They can be the kind of person who is, for instance, a man who is attracted to a woman who wants, you know, the 2 children, the golden retriever, the house in the suburban area, you know what I mean, like the stereotype. That does not mean that they stand out. They could very well be of a stereotypical kind of a genre of person, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that they do not feel like other people should be able to live out their lives the way they desire and to the fullest, you know? They're the kind of person who just wants everybody to be able to do what they want to do. And then we have the snake spirit, we have the rabbit spirit, we have the eagle spirit, as well as the koi fish spirit. So group number 3, they definitely see as though there is enough in this world, okay? They do not feel intimidated, and that is why they can be so liberal, because they do not feel intimidated by people being different. They do not feel like that is challenging them, their life, their worldviews, because they're very strong in who they are. Furthermore, in the snake spirit, I want you to know that now is the time for them to heal. Right now, the person who is crushing on you is going through a lot of healing. They're going through a lot of regeneration from one of their past experiences and maybe past relationships. But I want you to know here that they are in sort of like this mindset of now really wanting to settle down. So whether that corresponds to where you are in life right now, group number 3, or not, they are the kind of person that, yes, they want children, okay? They want to settle down. They want to just have that life where they can be with one person and form a marriage, a bond, a strong relationship that can just last for an eternity. So they see things from a very wide perspective. That is one thing that I see in the eagle spirit. They sit back and envision their life 10, 20, 30 years from now. They plan ahead, okay? Group number 3, the person who is crushing on you is a planner. So if you're somebody who's more spontaneous, this can really get on your nerves. But if you like to plan things out, if you like to be the kind of person who has all their ducks in a row, everything in order, all of their T's crossed, their I's dotted, then know that this is a really great match where you can work together in order to have that perfectly planned out life with that clean house, with everything organized, and you sort of also planning out what you're going to do in your daily life, okay? So when you work, when you have a busy schedule, it can be very hard to find time to do things with your partner, okay? But this person that is crushing on you is the kind of person that will put it in the agenda when you're doing date night, when you're spending time together, just lounging, just doing Netflix and chill. They will make sure that they plan time for that in order to ensure that it actually happens, in order to be able to know, like, okay, I'm going to be able to spend time with them regardless. So they are very organized, and that is one thing that you can see as a strength, but maybe also as a weakness, group number 3. We have the peacock spirit and the panther spirit lastly. So in the peacock spirit, I definitely see that there's somebody who is physically attractive, but from what I get from your reading, they're not very cocky. They're the person who is most likely physically attractive, but they don't know it, okay? They're the kind of person who thinks they're average. Meanwhile, to the majority of society, they would be classified as, you know, pretty hot stuff, if you know what I mean, group number 3. But this can be something that seems very humble, okay? So they're more of a humble person. Yes, they have a little bit of an ego, but who doesn't? But overall, they're somebody who is very down to earth, okay? They see themselves as, okay, you know, maybe not above average, maybe just about average, but they do not put themselves on a pedestal. That is one thing that I see in correlation to the rest of your reading with the peacock spirit, which is a very pompous kind of spirit, if you will. Then in the Panther spirit, I want you to know here that they are currently in the process of reclaiming their power. So as I said, the Peacock spirit is more of a pompous spirit, which does not shine through in that way though, because they are very grounded and they are the kind of person who feels like they're okay, but they don't see themselves as anything special. And this may have to do with a abusive relationship that they may have been in and at an earlier point in time, okay? Maybe just right before they met you or right before they started crushing on you, group number 3. I want you to know that they're in the process of gaining back their power, their confidence, everything that has been taken from them because of an emotionally difficult situation. So right now they're kind of like in a fragile state, so they need somebody who can give them security, and that is also most likely why they want to settle down. They don't want to play games anymore. They don't want to be with somebody who plays games because they have done that, and that chapter is done, closed, dusted, and has been archived. Okay, group number 3, there is no more of that for this person who is crushing on you. So if you do end up, you know, getting together with this person, just be prepared to experience them wanting to be with you, only you, and for it to be that kind of like forever connection. And if things don't work out, they want to work on it. They don't want to just break up. They don't want to just separate and call it quits. They want to actually see if they can fix the situation before they give up, should there be any friction. So group number 3, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that it gave you insight on the person who is crushing on you. Let me know down below what really resonated and what really excites you, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Amazonite, group number 4, and I want to get straight into your reading so we can figure out exactly who is crushing on you. So let's get right into it. We have the Queen of Feathers. So in the Queen of Feathers, I definitely see somebody who is very, very truthful, okay? They love the truth, they hate people who lie, and they will not ever, ever lie to you, okay? This person who is crushing on you is somebody who is very honest and very upfront about their opinion. Maybe sometimes a little too direct, okay? Because they can hurt feelings more easily than they think that they do. So there's somebody who kind of lives in their own world a little bit, okay? They may be a little bit of an introvert just because they feel like they're too honest, and they feel like it makes them it makes it very difficult for them to fit into any sort of social scene just because of how they are. And instead of changing, instead of just conforming, they're the kind of person who would rather just be around other people who are also very blunt, honest, and open about their opinion. And then we have the 2 of Acorns, we have the 3 of Crystals, and we have the 4 of Shells. So I see here that there is sort of like a very even distribution of different signs. So it is not completely clear yet from your reading what sign this person is of who is crushing on you. But what is clear is the fact that they're most likely somebody who is pretty balanced, okay? Emotionally, they're very stable. They're not the kind of person who goes through a lot of sort of like mental breakdowns, okay? They're somebody who can handle themselves well. Especially here in the 4 of Shells, one thing that I see here is that they always reevaluate situations, okay? They're always trying to soul search. They're always trying to figure out exactly how they can better themselves, as well as how they can make a situation more beneficial for each party that is involved. So they're not self-centered whatsoever. Even though they're very honest and will just tell you if they don't like something, they're not doing it to hurt you. They're just doing it to tell you exactly how it is. So if you can appreciate somebody who is honest instead of like trying to comfort you with lies, then this person who is crushing on you is most likely a very good romantic fit. And the 2 of Acorns, one thing that I see here is that they're the kind of person who has a lot of insight about a lot of things, okay? Because they're the kind of person who likes to like have their, how should I say, they like to have their little beak, you know, as we have this hawk here, they like to have their little beak in a lot of different businesses, group number 4, okay? So they will listen into this conversation, that conversation, they will watch this documentary, read that book, just to gain more insight, just to be the person who is knowledgeable, who can then in turn use that knowledge in order to further their career, their personal growth, as well as their ability to manifest what it is that they desire into their life. And in the 3 of crystals, I see that they're hardworking, okay? They're the kind of person who can work very well by themselves, but who will also not shy away from collaborating with other people in order to achieve what it is that they want to achieve. So they're the kind of person who is all about productivity and being efficient. So efficiency is very different from productivity, okay? You can be productive the entire day but not have been efficient and not have been able to accomplish the things that you know that you should have accomplished, especially if you have a to-do list. You know, being efficient is crossing each thing out on that to-do list, whereas being productive is maybe going over things a few times, maybe doing one thing from your list and then getting distracted by cleaning the house, putting things away, all because you're kind of avoiding and procrastinating things that are further down the list, you know? So group number 4, I want you to know here that they're the kind of person who definitely just focuses on crossing things out, okay, on being efficient and on getting other people on board onto their team that are smarter than them, okay, because they see the value in collaborating with people who are experts in their field. So they're very business oriented, very business minded, and the kind of person who will shy away from nothing to build an empire, okay? They are unafraid. They're the kind of person who is very courageous. You may think to yourself sometimes like, oh, you know, I wish I could build a huge empire, but I just don't see it happening. I just don't see how I can lead all of these people. So that is something that is not even in their mind, okay? They're naturally the kind of person who is just like, yes, I can do this, okay? I can collaborate with other people in order to make something really big and life-changing happen. But let's move further into your reading, group number 4. We have the 4 of crystals as well as the 9 of shells. So we have 2 times the number 4, group number 4, okay? So this is just not a coincidence that we have 4 as your group number, 4 in the 4 of shells, and 4 in the 4 of crystals. I want you to know that there's a lot of security and stability in this person. This person that is crushing on you is somebody who is not only emotionally stable, but the kind of person where if you were to be with this person romantically, you would feel very well taken care of. You would feel as though the relationship is sort of almost like set in stone, okay? They're not the kind of person to cheat. They're the person that is very loyal, okay? As we had here in the Queen of Feathers, they like the truth, okay? They do not lie and they do not deceive. And that also makes them a very loyal companion and somebody who will leave you should you do any of those things. And in turn, they are not going to do that to you though. And they're also not suspicious, okay? They will give you the benefit of the doubt until you prove them wrong, until you prove them otherwise. But once you have proven that you are not trustworthy, that is it for them, okay? They're the kind of person who does not have any patience for those kind of games. They're the kind of person who does not forgive lying or deceit, just because to them it comes so naturally to be honest and to be the kind of person who is upfront about whatever it is that they're feeling or whatever it is that they need. Furthermore, group number 4, in the 9 of shells, one thing that I see here is that they are very close to fulfillment. The last thing that they're missing out on is that romantic love, okay? And that is something that bugs them. That is something where they feel like life is so close to being perfect if only they could fill this little gap and this little void. And if you talk to them, your crush is most likely going to communicate this with you. Your crush is most likely going to tell you that this is something that bothers them and just the last sort of piece to their puzzle. But I'm going to move further into your reading just to gain a little more insight, group number 4. We have the skunk spirit, we have the frog spirit, as well as the ant spirit. So as we already spoke about in the 3 of crystals up here, we have collaboration again in the ant spirit, okay, as well as the number 1. So your crush, okay, the person who is crushing on you may be of a life path number 1, and the life path number 1 is a natural born leader, so they're able to put things together easily, to delegate different tasks, and to make sure that everything is running smoothly. So I want you to know they're the kind of person who doesn't like clutter. If you are messy, be prepared to have to declutter because of this person. That is one thing that I see in the frog spirit. They know that in order to be a good leader, in order to be able to have everything organized to the point where they can be successful, they have to clear out all the junk and all of the distractions. And that is one thing that is super important to them. They don't like a messy household. They don't like a messy headspace. They're the kind of person who thinks very clearly in order to achieve exactly what it is that they're after. And furthermore, in the skunk spirit, one thing that I see here is that they know their worth, okay? They are not full of themselves. They are not somebody who is egocentric, but at the same time, they know their worth, okay? And if somebody is going to roll up and say to them, well, you know, you're not that great of a catch anyways, they're just gonna be like, okay, well, bye-bye, okay? I don't need you. They're the kind of person who is so secure in themselves that they know what their worth is, and they know what they should be putting up with and what not. So they don't put up with drama, they don't put up with pettiness, they don't put up with anybody who is disloyal. They would rather leave and be by themselves. So to them, if the relationship is not 100% worth it, it is just like not happening whatsoever. So know that if this person commits, like you are really worthy to them. Then we have the whale spirit as well as the porcupine spirit lastly. In the whale spirit, one thing that I see here is that they're the kind of person who is very trusting in their faith. They're very trusting also in their judgment of people, okay? They feel like their intuition is not going to mislead them, and they may be somebody who is very spiritual, very religious, just has like strong core beliefs about something that they feel is out there, something that they feel is kind of like this mystery that is yet to be explained by, you know, science, but at the same time, they still feel like it exists. They still feel like life is just like a great mystery that you just need to sort of like trust in, that life is not out to get you, but life just presents you with a lot of opportunities that you can take. So they always sort of see the glass as half full instead of as half empty. And in the porcupine spirit, I see that they're able to always see things from a fresh perspective, okay? They're not the kind of person who has conservative and sort of old-fashioned ways of thinking. They're the kind of person where if a new app comes out, if it's just something like new scientific research comes out, they eat that stuff up, group number 4, okay? They're very interested in any sort of advancement technologically. They love gadgets. They love to stock up on things that make life easier and more convenient, and just those things, as I said, those gadgets that are cool to have. So they're maybe a little bit nerdy, a little bit geeky, okay? They're the kind of person who puts sort of like their mind over their looks, so they're most likely not very concerned with how they look. They're more concerned with what is between here than what is going on all around here. You know what I mean, group number 4? So this person is intelligent and academically most likely very advanced, and they want the same back. They want intelligent conversation. They want somebody who can hold their own and who can present themselves in a way that is respectable. So group number 4, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that it gave you insight and clarity about who is crushing on you. Let me know down below what really hit home and what you're most excited about. And I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello, group number 5, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the blue quartz, group number 5, and I want to get straight into your reading so we can figure out who is crushing on you. So first and foremost, we have the 4 of feathers. Okay, so I see somebody who is chill, okay? I see somebody who likes to rest, recuperate, sleep. They like to eat. They like the finer things in life, group number 5. So this may resonate strongly with you, but you may also think to yourself, wow, you know, I'm kind of adventurous, so what am I going to do with this person? Well, let's find out. In the 2 of shells, we have somebody who is very loving, okay? This person is very caring. This person is all about romance, and this person is all about just being together in that strong sort of bond and connection, and just feeling nurtured and like you have somebody that you can really depend on. So this person is very dependable. Once this person is in a relationship, okay, they're hard to get rid of. Group number 5, let's figure out exactly what else we have from our guides here. We have the Hermit we have the Six of Shells as well as the Queen of Acorns. Then I will add one more card to your reading. We have the Ace of Acorns. Okay, so group number 5, one thing that I see here in the Ace of Acorns as well as the Queen of Acorns, that they may be of a fire sign. Okay, I see fiery energy. So while they are kind of chill and they do like to just relax and have a good time, they at the same time are very passionate about certain things in life where they really show those qualities, where they have this creative force, where they have this confidence to go after what it is that they want. So they may, for instance, be somebody who loves music or who loves numbers, and once they're really in their element, okay, nothing can stop them. They can pull all-nighters. This sort of chill vibe is all of a sudden gone, and they're able to just follow their passions, okay, until they reach success. So this person is very driven when it comes to their passions, and they're the kind of person who also takes a lot of this time where they're just chilling, where they're just like sitting in front of the TV, watching Netflix, watching their favorite movie and relaxing. They use a lot of that time for deep contemplation, okay, because they are so into love, because they're most likely a hopeless romantic. They're the kind of person that likes to just think about how they can better themselves, how they can be the best possible partner, and just how they can really turn their experiences into wisdom. And wisdom is sort of crystallized pain, okay? Wisdom is when you have done something over and over again, or you've gone through experiences and that caused an emotional reaction that was most likely negative, okay, that was most likely difficult to deal with, but now you have moved on to the point where you know better, where you don't question yourself or the situation. As I said, you know better, and there's no emotional attachment, okay? You feel no sense of hurt, no sense of anger or so on, because you have moved on from that and you have gained wisdom, okay? You have gained clarity. So that is exactly what they focus on. They always focus on, what can I learn from this situation? And group number 5, this person who is crushing on you is the kind of person who likes to be around other people. So while they do like to chill, they also like to spend time with others. So they're most likely a little bit more extroverted. They're most likely the kind of person who likes to have long, deep discussions and also doesn't mind being the center of attention in a group setting. Okay. So group number 5, this person is the kind of person who just likes to live life in the moment and to the fullest, all while still constantly sort of creating new wisdom. So they're not the YOLO kind of person, okay? They're not the kind of person who is just strictly impulsive. They're the kind of person who also likes to think before they act, as well as collect all of these little experiences in order to build a portfolio of knowledge. Then let's move further into your reading. We have the 5 of Acorns as well as the Magician. So more Acorns, group number 5. I definitely see as though this person has very fiery energy. This person may most likely be of a fire sign. One thing that I see here in the 5 of Acorns is that they love a good challenge, okay? If you're somebody who is hard to get or plays hard to get, group number 5, I'm not trying to call you out, but if you're that kind of person, I want you to know that they are completely fine with a challenge. They actually appreciate a challenge. They feel like in this day and age, people are too easily convinced, too easy to jump into romantic relationships, and just willing to put up with too much crap, okay? They have very high moral standards, and they also have high expectations for their partners, and therefore they are willing to go after the person that they're crushing on for the longest time, okay? They will take rejections and still try and come back, group number 5. So this may be a little bit annoying in some situations, but this may also be exactly what you needed, because sometimes you don't want to be with somebody who is just, you know, tries once and then when they hit a little bump, they fade away and they ghost you and they try to be with somebody else. That is not necessarily what we want, group number 5. Like, sometimes you want to see them jump through hurdles, you want to see them push boundaries, you want to see them really wanting to be with you. You want to see them really showing that they're crushing on you, really showing that you mean something to them, because you just don't want to just give it up for anybody, and that shows that you value yourself, group number 5. And I want you to know that this person who is crushing on you understands that, and they're up for the challenge, and they like challenges. They don't like anything that is easy. In the Magician, one thing that I see here is that they like to exert their willpower. They have to sort of always prove to themselves how much they want something, how much willpower that they have, how much strength is within them. So they're the kind of person where when something comes easily to them, it's kind of like worth less, okay? And it doesn't really matter what it is. If they could easily make, say, $1 million versus actually exert willpower, actually have to fight for it and look for solutions and overcome challenges, they would rather choose the route where they have to overcome challenges and it actually challenges them instead of just being able to sit back and have everything that they want. So they have a very strong work ethic, group number 5, and they're the kind of person who expects kind of like the same from you, okay? So while they like to chill, when it comes to work, when it comes to something that they're passionate about, they go full force, and they expect you to be balanced in that way as well, where you have time where you just rest, recuperate, but at the same time, like, you're contemplating, okay? You're looking at your next steps, you're planning your next steps, and you're ready to seize the day, to seize the moment when it is time to seize the day and the moment. Then we have the mouse spirit, we have the frog spirit, we have the skunk spirit. So one thing that I see here in the person who is crushing on you is that they're very much oriented when it comes to, well, detail oriented, okay? Not oriented when it comes to details. That is one thing that I see in the mouse spirit. They tend to the little things. They don't ignore the little things. They know that a lot lies in the details, especially when it comes to their work. They're not the kind of person who is just going to skim over a big project and just say, well, the project as a whole is good. They're the kind of person who is very diligent, who is going to look into those little nitty-gritty corners and really find out, like, hey, how can I better this project? How can I fine-tune these little details in order to show just how much effort I put into things? And that is one thing that you might really appreciate about them, just because they're the kind of person who will not keep old ideas and old visions around. That is one thing that I see here in the frog spirit. They're the kind of person where when something has already been done, they want to move on from it, okay? As we spoke about here in the hermit, they want to gain wisdom. They want to gain clarity. They want to become better. They don't want to be stagnant. That is one of their biggest fears. They want to continuously grow. They want to continuously clear out old mindsets and old beliefs, maybe even old things in their life that no longer resonate with where they are. And that is all because they feel as though this is how they're showing that they know their value. And that is why the skunk spirit showed up in your reading, group number 5. They are the kind of person who values their headspace. They do not want to clutter their headspace with things that are unimportant. So that may be, for instance, tasks that are overdue. They like to get things done immediately. That may be sort of like old worldviews or things that just don't resonate with the current moment. So they like to be up to date, group number 5. Let's add one more card to your reading though. We have the deer spirit. So in the deer spirit, one thing that I see is that they're the kind of person who is very gentle in a relationship, group number 5, okay? They value themselves and they constantly want to challenge themselves. They constantly want to put themselves out there in order to become better and in order to see just how much they can really break through obstacles and overcome difficulties in life. But they are super, super soft when it comes to their partners, okay? They're not the kind of person who expects too much of that sort of energy out of you. Yes, they want you to be driven, but at the same time, if you need a timeout, if you need a little bit of a more gentle approach, they're here and willing to give you that approach, group number 5. They're not the kind of person who will push you beyond your limits to the point where you feel uncomfortable or you feel like you just want to run away and cry, you know what I mean, group number 5? They will push you to the point where they're still gentle and they're still getting you out of your comfort zone and they're still expecting greatness out of you, but in the realms of where it's actually achievable, in the realms as to where it's actually still healthy for you mentally as well as physically, because they kind of like carry you like a little egg, group number 5, okay? They feel like you need to be protected. They feel like you're more vulnerable than them and therefore they have different standards for you, okay? They're a bit softer on you and they don't go so hard on you as they would go on themselves, which is, in my opinion, a good thing, because because you don't want somebody riding your ass all the time, wanting you to be the best version possible. You want somebody where when you need to cry, okay, when you need to play the victim for 5 minutes, group number 5, that they just allow you to do that. Because sometimes we need a shoulder to cry on, we need a little rock to hold on to, and that is exactly what they're able to provide emotionally, group number 5. So group number 5, this is a reading that I received for you. I truly hope that this gave you clarity about who this person is that is crushing on you. Let me know down below what really got you excited about this person, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello, group number 6, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Azurite, group number 6, and I want to move straight into your reading so we can figure out exactly who is crushing on you. So first and foremost, we have the Ace of Feathers. So in the Ace of Feathers, one thing that I see here is that the person who is crushing on you is somebody who has a lot of mental clarity, okay? They're the kind of person who is not confused, they know exactly what they want, and they're the kind of person who finds it very important to build a strong foundation in a relationship. So they're not the type that will play games, okay? This person who is crushing on you wants to know where they stand and wants you to know where they stand, okay? That is all that mental clarity is about, to know exactly where you are in life, where you stand in romance, and that we're not playing games. I mean, who does not like some clarity, group number 6? Then we have the 10 of Feathers, we have the 7 of Crystals, as well as Strength. So out of the 4 cards that we have so far for you, we have 2 of them that correspond to the Suit of Feathers. So group number 6, the Suit of Feathers corresponds to air signs, and air signs, I mean, we all know that they're mentally very sharp, okay? They're the kind of person who will say it like it is, and they will tell you the truth even if the truth hurts, instead of just like comforting you with a lie, which I feel like a lot of us do appreciate though, group number 6. In the 10 of Feathers, I want you to know here that on one hand, they're at the beginning of a new cycle, you know, mentally, where they're gaining new clarity about certain aspects in their life, maybe love, maybe also just their social life. They're starting to realize like the kind of people that they want to be around and the kind of people that they feel like they want to stay away from. So they're realizing who their real friends are and who fake friends are. They're realizing what they want in love and what they don't really appreciate so much. Where at the same time here in the 10 of Feathers, they're at a situation here where they are completely transforming, okay? While they're figuring out the new things that they like, that they don't like, they're also just kind of going through a recovery, okay? They may have been really hurt in the past, in their past relationship. They may have been strung along, and now they have come to the point where they're completely honest with whoever it is that they're seeing, and they expect the same in return. And should they feel like there is any sort of discrepancy between what you are saying and what you are showing, okay, they definitely feel like actions speak louder than words. They will know exactly what the truth is and what is just sort of like somebody fibbing, okay? They are the kind of person who can see through lies, who can see exactly when somebody hesitates to give an answer, and they will know, oh my God, I need to watch out in order to not get hurt again. So they're cautious, group number 6, okay? This person that is crushing on you is somebody who is cautious, is somebody who does not want to get hurt again. I mean, who wants to get hurt? But they really want to move on from this situation where they have felt like they're not worthy, okay? Where they felt like somebody was able to just crush them like a little bug, and that was just not a cute situation. And in the Strength card, I want you to know here that they have through that learned to build up their courage as well as their endurance, okay? They have come to a point where they are stronger than ever, group number 6. They are the kind of person who will not only stand up for themselves, but they will also stand up for you, because if there's one thing that they hate, then that is injustice. They hate social injustice. They hate injustice when it comes to, you know, like gender equality, for instance. And that does not mean that they're male, female, or they just identify anywhere in between, okay? That plays absolutely no role to who this person is. They can be a regular straight female who just does her 9 to 5 and wants to have her dream wedding, you know, and that sort of stereotype might be her life or his life, but at the same time, like, that does not define their worldviews, okay? Just because they may be a stereotype kind of person does not mean that that is how they see the world. That does not mean that that is the only kind of life that they endorse. Just because some of their worldviews are more traditional or more, you know, socially accepted does not mean that they do not feel like other people should not be accepted. You know, they feel like everybody should be accepted for who they are. And just because they have been done wrong by somebody who was so close to them and they were hurt so deeply. They understand what emotional hurt and trauma is. They can relate when you speak to them and you tell them what you have been through, group number 6, and they can really sort of like empathize, okay? They can feel your pain, and that is something that not a lot of people are able to do. Furthermore, in the 7 of crystals, I want you to know here that they will be able to present you with options in order to move forward. So if you tell them a story about your childhood or what you went through in one of your past relationships, this person who is crushing on you will really like sit back and think about how you can move forward, what the best option is for you to deal with that mentally. So they're most likely really into things that have to do with psychology. They're most likely really into personal development, okay, and personal growth. They're the kind of person that loves to read books about it, that loves to listen to podcasts about, you know, self-help and personal development and motivating oneself. And I want you to know that they will then use that knowledge and try and help you with that knowledge. They will give you everything that they know just in order to push you forward into a direction where you can actually achieve more positive results. So they never just listen to a story and just say like, oh, okay, that's like a really sad story. I'm so sad you had to go through that. They will actually be like, huh, really? How did that make you feel? Well, what do you think of doing this, and that in order to rebuild and regain your confidence? They're always looking for a way how you can get better results out of your situation and how you can be able to move forward from something that you've been through in a way how you are continuing to build, okay, where you're not allowing the situation to eat you alive, to crumble you, to crush you, and to make you feel down and out. They want you to build and grow and get stronger. Just because they've been in that situation and they have crushed and crumbled and they would have wished that somebody would have been there for them, your crush is now using that experience and using the pain that they had while they were hoping somebody would teach them how to see the light and how to move forward. They're now using that in order to help you and other people. So they are not salty about the fact that they didn't have somebody in their court when they most needed somebody in their court. They're using that now to move forward and make the world a better place. And that just says a lot about this person who is crushing on you, group number 6. Then we have Temperance as well as the 10 of crystals. So group number 6, I have to warn you, okay? This person is somebody who is most likely in need of a little bit of harmony. So while they are very motivational, okay, they talk a good talk and they walk a good walk too, they like to go out, okay? Group number 6, I'm just gonna say how it is. They like to go out, they like to drink, they like to eat unhealthy foods, they may like to smoke, they may like to indulge in other drugs like too much coffee, too much caffeine, or maybe other sorts of stimulants. I want you to know that they're the kind of person here in the 10 of crystals that likes to get to a point where they can just have fun and let loose because they feel like they're so emotionally stable and they feel very accomplished in their life, okay? They feel like they're at a point now where they can let loose and have fun, especially because the person who is crushing on you, I mean, they're single, so they want to enjoy this time. This does not have to be an indication for who they are once they're in a relationship, but as a single person, they can be a little wild, they can be a little crazy, they can be the kind of person who just sort of like, how should I say, the kind of person who sticks out of the crowd, okay? The kind of person who speaks loudly, who tells funny jokes, and who is okay with being the center of attention, and also telling people their story in order to motivate and inspire them. Then we have the frog spirit and we have the skunk spirit. So in the frog spirit, one thing that I see here is that once they're sort of like done with hurt or emotional trauma, they do not like to revisit their own emotional trauma, okay? They're the kind of person who, yes, will grow and move on from it, but at the same time, they do not like to revisit as in like feeling those emotions again. They may make jokes about it, they may tell other people their story to motivate them, but they will not allow themselves to go to that place where they relive those emotions, just because they know how destructive it can be when you relive those emotions, because it's almost like you're living in the past, okay? So what is very important for them is to make sure that they're keeping their self-worth and their self-value on 100, group number 6. So, okay, we have a little bit of a situation here. We have the rhino spirit, we have the badger spirit, as well as the armadillo spirit. So I want to move further into your reading with the cards that literally just popped out, because we all know that that is not a coincidence. So group number 6, in the rhino spirit, I want you to know here that they feel as though they can overcome any obstacle, okay? They're not afraid of anything or anybody. So group number 6, this can make them a little bit confrontational, okay? Especially if they're, for instance, a guy. They are not afraid to get into like a fight if they feel the need to, okay? Not that there's ever a need to do that, but you know what I mean. If they're challenged, they are going to show that they can overcome any obstacle or sort of, you know, overcome anybody. So in the skunk spirit, I want you to know that they really do care about how they are perceived by you, how they are perceived by the person who they are romantically interested in. They want to be strong. They want to be the person that seems like they can provide. They want to be like the protector, okay? They're the kind of person who really values being that kind of figure in your life. And furthermore, here in the Badger spirit, they will go out of their way to show you exactly how fearless and bold that they can be, just for you to know that you can rely on them 100%, okay? So as I said, there's somebody who can be a little bit of a wild child who likes to party, and they can also be kind of a daredevil, okay? They love adventures and they love to do things that just really gets your adrenaline pumping and flowing. So this person that is crushing on you is somebody who likes to, for instance, do bungee jumping, okay? Who likes to, for instance, do like the whole, is it paragliding, parajumping? I'm not 100% sure. You guys get the gist, okay? Just these high intensity kind of like sports where a lot of people would say, no way, I'm not doing this, okay? That is too much for me. I'm not risking my life jumping off of a cliff just to have a little bit of adrenaline pumping through me. Like if I want adrenaline, I'll watch a horror movie. They're the kind of person who will actually go and engage with these extreme sports. They will actually go and push their body to the limit, push their mind to the limit, and they're unafraid of sort of like extending their boundaries, okay? That is one thing that I see in the armadillo spirit. They're the kind of person who likes to get out of their comfort zone, who can push themselves to get out of their comfort zone, and who just wants to always see like, how far can I go this time? But I want you to know that in correlation to people, they are a private person. So while they seem like they're outgoing, while they seem like they share a lot about themselves, they actually don't really. That is one thing that I see here in the armadillo spirit. Last but not least, you need to know that this person keeps the things that are really important to them, that really concern them, they keep that private. They do not share that with the world. They're the kind of person who likes to set boundaries between acquaintances and who is really in a close friend group. So they may have lots of acquaintances, they may seem like a very popular person just because of the fact that, you know, being a wild child can attract a certain kind of group of people, okay? Friends that want you around because you're the wild child, because you're the person who can party, because you're the person who can do all of these crazy fun things. But they know that those friends are just going out friends. Those friends are just party friends. Once they are in that headspace of being a little more vulnerable, of wanting to discuss the things that really concern them, they only do that with their closest friends and family. That is a side that they never show their acquaintances, that they never show people who are not very close to them, just because they want that boundary, because they don't want anybody to ever be able to take advantage of them should they have not put up that boundary and should they have not thought ahead when it comes to that, because they do feel as though, you know, a lot of people are opportunists, especially after what they have been through, especially after what they've been taught. But at the same time, like, they realize they need people who are closest to them. So when it comes to love, family, very close friends, they are completely open. But to get to that point, you might have to actually like prove yourself. You might actually have to show them that you are worthy before they let you into that very close circle. So group number 6, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you found it insightful and that it gave you clarity as to who this person is that is crushing on you. So wherever you are in this world, group number 6, I truly hope that you're having an amazing day or night, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos.